Alright, I said I would do a reply, so here we go. Right, I am in the NWG chat as so. My biggest issues here, because of the way I've been treated in society. Now, my big problem is that I have to explain resistance material to them and autism to them, which is very difficult, and I feel trapped in between both, so it's very, very hard. So yes, I am. It's sort of, I feel sort of squashed between, say, there's neurotypical resistance people that don't understand the autism and they talk in neurotypical language with lots of assumptions and brackets and projections and um, yeah, things like that. And then there's autistic people, but they believe in the mainstream system. So again, it's a very horrible, isolating trap or feeling. It's very difficult either way. So yeah, it's gone up from 0%. I've started doing things again. So, and I've told this for years. The way that society treats this is why I've got no trust for anyone, even off system people sometimes. So, because they in the past um, just lash out of nowhere at me. So the thing that I would have in common with the resistance is the way that the mainstream system treats you. You know, so that is a sympathy that I have. I know what it's like to be treated like that and kicked down, you know, and squashed and, you know, oppressed. So I don't know really how this built up. I really don't know. But I think the fact that I'm doing this video is I suppose a good sign that there is some level, but it's a tiny level, but it's up from 0. So I can teach, but there's it's all self-taught, so bushcraft or survival technique or fire building, but with the right brain creativity, it's any forced pressure, it will collapse any interest in it. So there can't be any forced pressure, but I can show people basic bushcraft and fire building and tool skills, um, fire knife, ferro rod, single edge stack, splitting, batoning, splitting firewood, things like that. What else? Just as I say, just always bear that in mind with my videos because it's a very sensitive issue. because they're, it's at a low level there because of mistreatment in the past millions of times. So the help I can offer in the form of skills, and um, yeah, I don't know. I like bushcraft, so I can only do it if I like it. Maybe teach a bit of self defense or no gi, just a bit. I'm a blue belt, if you like, kind of. So you can teach basic methods for self defense slash no gi, and basic bushcraft technique. But I don't know neurotypical language, and I'm not really sure I want to learn it because of all this drama and fighting with each other and the assumptions when they talk. It's a very odd language to me. So yeah, I'm caught between these two, and it's immensely difficult because they don't understand resistance. Resistance people don't understand autism. So I'm squashed between everything. On top of that, I can absolutely relate to Jason on the book Spawn Guilty, and I'm not sure if the book is called Crucible, but I had years of, you could say, definitely what you would possibly call an England sixth form college, and community college, and a bit of senior school, years and years and years of being told about, straight Western male, Western privilege, on top of, so the Westerners would make fun of my this condition, and then the liberal people would um say, attack me for having Western male straight privilege. So it's like both sides, so getting it from both sides is very difficult indeed, and the so-called hard left or liberal people wouldn't listen if I said, well, I'm not, this straight oppressive, what do they call, straight Western male evil person, but that's all they ever called me. So that's another sympathy I can have with the resistance. But nationality is not. I have more in common with these people than I do 99.9% of Westerners, really, because the psychological similarities and spiritual similarities, a bit like Evola would say, and I I share that. I think I share that in common with Philosophicat. Philosophicat, with the similarities between people, race of spirit, or race of soul. Things that are. I'm not as well educated on Evola, but I know bits and bobs, and yeah, and even Varg talked about, a Westerner can be nothing like you, can have absolutely nothing in common with you, and I find that, as I say, with 99.9% of Westerners, even though they're meant to be the same nationality as me, there's nothing really. The resistance thing is in common. You need a binding religion or idea. Nationality by itself is way not enough in my view. But why am I doing this video? Because I'm trying to build up trust again, which is, yeah, very low. So please don't anyone attack that. um, so yes, I psychologically, spiritually, I probably have more in common with these than I do any Westerners, but because of infrastructure, and everything is infrastructure, and culture. And even though Terence McKenna said culture, is doesn't he didn't say it doesn't mean anything, but he said um, it's not valid in some way. I kind of get what he means, but the problem is it leaves, if you're the only one who does that technique, it leaves you very open to being taken over by other ones. But it's an interesting point. I do listen to Terence McKenna and Alan Watts on quite multiple occasions, but to help with poor Western people or Western people in a bad spot, and would slightly include me, although there are much people that need much more, help in that situation. But I don't really have an independent income or a job or my own home or things like that. And even before the C word shut down, I was in the same spot because of, about 79 to 80% of autistic people are not in full employment because of lots of reasons. Lots of reasons. Communication problem and things. Hello. In a minute. Yeah. Yeah. So, without that, you end up sitting in the corner of a room doing nothing because you can't do anything without humans, really, in this world, which is a quite difficult situation, really. I don't expect anyone to understand unless they've got it, but I think just to sum up, my skills can be, as I say, basic self-defense, teaching, and basic bushcraft methods. I can coach or teach in both, on the basic beginner fundamental methods of those, but also creative, recycled bushcraft and recycled material, and maybe riding the green uh, movement, trying to use it in a positive direction, for donated materials to make money, things like that. But single-edged axes, and regrind the spine of that knife to make it finer. Just basic things, hobo stoves to make. But I'm not very capitalistically minded, so it's again economic and business studies. I don't know, and it ties very in with neurotypical language and communication, which obviously I'm not a member of neurotypical culture, so that will be difficult. But obviously the problems we're in is because of people, what I call ostrich technique, everyone ignoring it. So, and also, as I say, if I don't, as difficult as it is for me, and I hope people appreciate that in this video, without that you end up in the corner of a room not really being able to do anything much. So I kind of had to, but it's difficult. So these are some of my skills and the creative thing and coming up with ideas and different pursuits, like architecture and sociology, Western psychology, Grey's Anatomy flashcards, things like that. Very sort of obscure. Very, as I say, I think the people I would most like, and Eastern philosophy that I would most like to talk to, where's the paper? With regard to resistance people, there's Philosophicat and Keith, and this would be very helpful possibly on both ends because I have unique information also. So, um, yeah, that would be very productive, I think. And really, to sum up, um, I don't know what to sum up with. Oh yes, to sum up, I promised to do a response video, and I don't want to tell fibs, and now I have done the response video, even if it's very vaguely constructed. At least it's better than doing nothing at all, which is this, you know, problem sometimes I find myself in. It's wrong to do something, it's wrong to do nothing, and then I'm trapped between everything, which isn't fun. And the problem also is I can't, in my moral code, defend corrupt Westerners, people that might own 3 apartments, or they might have 5 pickup trucks, or they might have a 9-bedroomed house and they rip people off. And I can't really. I mean, is that internalized AWism? I don't know. Maybe it is. But I can't really find that acceptable. Even if they are the so-called same nationality, even if they are Westerners, it's not acceptable. And I don't really hear the resistance talk about that. I hear them talk about other. As I have to agree, we're very differently minded, but I have to agree with Jason on the fact that yesterday's show towards the end was talking about taking ownership and you know, things that Western people do wrong, and I have to, as I say, I just cannot, in my moral code, I cannot defend corrupt Westerners, landlords, people that rip people off, people that just look the other way when there's poor Westerners. I just can't really find that acceptable. So maybe they can try and make it up and apologize, but people generally don't do that. They generally keep on the same track. But as I say, even if it's poorly constructed, it's required an immense level of this for me, which is ridiculously difficult. So, you know, that has to be worth something, right? I've got many skills. It's just because they're so niche and they don't fit into mainstream neurotypical infrastructure, they're not recognised. But I have lots of unique skills. As I say, it's just because they're so niche, they're not really recognised properly. But I can definitely share skills with people. You know. So that's it really. I don't know about. I don't know anything about neurotypical life really. It's a very different culture, but I don't know about. I mean, 99% of England is owned by capitalists, and then they they have you know made camping difficult because bushcraft was a way out of poverty or a way out of being stuck in your home, not being able to afford your own place and things. That was a way out, but they make that extremely difficult now. Same as camper vanning. So, you know, I don't know. Traditional Western culture, I think. Well, I'll do another video on that, dedicated to that, and I'm sure it will be appreciated by people um, that are more socially conservative or um, so-called old-fashioned, if you like. Luddite, like me, if you want. um, but anyway, that's it really. Yeah. Um, I don't know what else to say. It's required a lot of thought to do this video, and just at the end to say to Kat that the reference in one of the videos to the Two Towers movie, where the Ents are so caught up in philosophy that it takes them like half a week to come up with an answer for a question. I've kind of become like that now, in extreme introspection and graveyard walks a lot and things like that, and non-contact with lots of humans is just I've definitely become like the Ents in the movie, the Two Towers film. So yeah, but definitely I like the stuff on Hinduism, and just in general in my personality, I really gravitate much more towards Eastern philosophy. So I find this channel very good, and I would like to talk to you guys is one day. Yeah, and yeah. Anything else? I'm just thinking. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, as I say, I am pretty much stuck. Um, Double I, independent income, and yeah. These people, by the way, help poor Westerners, which is they do excellent work, and we have a website, so you can type in on Google or type in on your internet search for Chris Packet Project, and you'll come up with this and the channel on the YouTube as well by the same name. So they do really good things to help people. Yeah, but I think a lot of what people think in terms of nationality, I think is a bit skewed, because it's more to do with the infrastructure, that the fact that, for example, all your uh, um, uh, say organisations might be Western, or all your um, what's the word I'm looking for? Your family, aunts, uncles, nans, granddads. You know, it's just, and I think it's the same if you're African, and it's the same if you're Indian, and it's the same if you're a non-Western culture. It's just a lot of it's to do with infrastructure and relatability and things, and just also proximity. The fact that you're whatever culture people happen to be, your culture is the one that's the closest distance. So you will pick things from that close distance, because it's inefficient to do otherwise. So it's got a lot, I think, to do with infrastructure rather than you know combativeness or anything like that. Um, but yeah, um, I don't know what to do really. Well, I've took the first step, I suppose, as I say, is the trust issue, which is probably the most difficult stage for me, and I've done that step now by doing this video. So yeah, um, I think just one last very quick point for half a minute would be the maybe donations with regard to the recycled bushcraft, and making money, or recycled beams that were structurally strong, or bricks and things, but things that can structurally strong but can be reused, like hobo stoves or joists, beams, bricks, and as I say, donations that could be modified, or batteries, things like that. But I can come up with the ideas like that. I just can't maintain them because the right brain tennis, the very chaotic brain structure. So, but yeah, that's it for now, really. Thank you.